In 1492, Christopher Columbus made a voyage across the Atlantic Ocean and discovered a new land. The land he discovered is now present-day North and South America. Now he is recognized by the United States every second Monday in October, in which the day is called Columbus Day. For the city of Pittston, Columbus Day is extra special to the Italian Americans of the community, as Columbus is recognized as an icon in many Italian American households. On Sunday, the greater Pittston area came out to celebrate a special year for the Columbus statue that sits in the city.
So today we're celebrating Columbus Day, but it's a special occasion because we're also celebrating the 50th anniversary of the placement of the Columbus statue at what is now called Columbus Ave.
People paraded up Main Street in Pittston and then joined around the statue and held a ceremony to honor the explorer. For the Italian-American members of the Pittston City Council and the community, the ceremony was extra special.
Well, Christopher Columbus is someone who's very important to the history of the city. He represents the plight of the immigrant coming from the old world into the new country and making a new life for themselves. And, you know, our ancestors who founded the city and made a home here found him to be an important part of that symbolism.
Most of them remember their grandparents and great-grandparents, and they grew up in that tradition of Italian families, a strong bond between the families, and they want to continue it, and they're proud of it.
I think it shows that we have a really strong connection with our Italian heritage, and celebrating somebody that was, you know, a great Italian explorer like Christopher Columbus is something that I hope we keep doing.
And Pittston isn't the only city that recognizes Christopher Columbus, as he's recognized throughout northeastern Pennsylvania. The cities of Wilkes-Barre and Scranton also have strong bonds to the holiday, as they also have statues that pay tribute to Columbus. Right up the street from our SSPTV studio, the city of Hazleton even has their own statue. And local historian and SSPTV News political analyst Charles McElwee explains the significance of the statue.
Many people either call the park that is along Diamond Avenue Memorial Park or Columbus Park. It's called Columbus Park because back in the 1950s, a statue to Christopher Columbus was erected in honor of Columbus and really to celebrate Hazleton's Italian heritage and culture. Hazleton did have a Columbus Day parade, and my grandfather, Charlie McElwee, he was involved with that parade.
Columbus Day is also celebrated throughout the United States. McElwee now works as an assistant editor for the City Journal in New York City, and he tells us just how important Columbus Day is in America's largest city.
Just look at New York City, where you have a parade every year that draws about 35,000 people. I work in New York City, and I will not have work on Columbus Day because we are going to be celebrating the legacy of the Italian Americans by celebrating Columbus Day.
Of course, with every polarizing figure, there is controversy. 527 years ago, when Columbus arrived in the Caribbean, he was ordered to take over the land by the King and Queen of Spain. They would name Columbus as the governor of the land, and during his time as leader, diseases were spread, people were killed, the Catholic religion was forced upon people, and slaves were put in place. For this reason, many people in 2019 identify the day as Indigenous Peoples Day after the people who were originally on the land. In fact, locally in Hazleton in 2012, the Columbus statue was vandalized with spray paint, fake blood, peace signs, and Columbus's face was painted white. Just a few months ago in August, this security camera in Pittston caught someone throwing purple paint at the Columbus statue.
As a culture, we're losing our sense of history. We are not looking beyond our Twitter feeds. We are arrested by this shame culture that sanctions everyone for anything real or imagined. And Christopher Columbus is just one of many examples of this. We don't understand the nuances, the complexities of history anymore because we don't even read. We don't even study history. Everything is recent. Everything is instantaneous. And therefore, we forget that history is complicated, that many heroes of history were complicated figures. Many people that we honor were hardly saints. And as a result, instead of recognizing that, we decide we must eradicate it, to have no remnants of that past. But how can you move forward? How can you understand the complexities of human nature if you don't have an understanding of the past? And by tearing down statues like Christopher Columbus, you are just really eradicating any sense of history in America.
Right now in Washington, D.C., there are 5 members of Congress who want the name to change to Indigenous Peoples Day. United States Congressman Matt Cartwright, who serves as the representative in Pittston, was in attendance for the ceremony, and he doesn't plan on having the name changed.
Oh, I think that's a lot of nonsense to even suggest that there's controversy. There's no way I would vote to change the name of Columbus Day. This is part of the fabric of American tradition at this point, and we have to continue to honor the discovery of America and all of the contributions of Italian Americans throughout the generations.
On Sunday, there were no protesters present during the ceremony in Pittston. Pittston City Mayor Michael Lombardo understands that people may disagree with the holiday, but he has no plans of stopping the celebration in the city.
I think that, history and, your ethnic heritage is part of the foundation of communities. And, I just find it appalling that the same people that wave the flag of, freedom of speech are trying to sanitize government. So as long as I'm serving here as mayor, we're going to continue to celebrate Columbus Day. We're not changing any names. We're not draping anything or removing statues. It is what it is, and nobody's perfect. And, I think throughout history, we could pick everybody apart.
And for some members of the greater Pittston area that were in attendance at the ceremony, they are happy that there will be Columbus Day festivities in years to come.
So I think it's a beautiful piece of artwork in the city, no doubt. We have a lot of beautiful pieces of art in the city, but especially the Columbus statue has been here for over 50 years. And I would definitely like to see it remain there. And, I'm very happy that we continue to celebrate it and celebrate Columbus's legacy.
Reporting for SSPTV News, I'm John Eric Poli.